Hi, I'm Trudy and I'm a grandparent raising a grandchild. I care for my grandson Ben, who is, he's just over 4, so we're coming up 4.5. Ben came into my care in 2009 with his mum, and I took over full care of Ben in March 2010 through the courts because things weren't going well with his mum and dad. So I took over. Ben's got lots of disabilities. He's got microcephaly, which just means small head. So if his head doesn't grow, his brain doesn't grow. He's got some autistic traits. He's got ADHD. He has global developmental delay and language issues. So at the moment, it's best place for Ben to be is with me and my daughter. So he lives with us in Tauranga while his family live down in the Manawatu. What I've found along the way is that for Ben, there's a lot of courses for me to attend. There's a lot of things for me to learn about his disabilities. And so what I do is I attend every course. I see a lot of specialists. It can get quite daunting. We do kindy. We do lots of exercises and things with him. And what I've found that I really needed to do was to give myself a bit of a break. So from 2009, it took till this year. So 2013, I gave myself a week off in August. But what I found was I basically cancelled out everybody's appointments and said no, but I did have to fit in some hospital appointments and the paediatrician because you just don't cancel those, you need to go. So I'd go along to those, but the rest of them I actually was brave enough to say, I'm sorry, I'm already booked up this week, can you reschedule? Because when we look at the real world and when we all had real lives back in the workforce, we all got 4 weeks a year. Suddenly you get none. You don't get a day off, you don't get a week off. You're 24/7 with your child, and it's really, really important to start looking after yourself as well. So I think sheer exhaustion, sheer frustration, and just the absolute need to start looking after myself came into it. So I had a week off. Well, I had a few days off. It didn't quite work, but I have rescheduled another week off coming up October. So I've put big lines through my diary, and this is our time, our family time. And just, we still have all the challenges. We'll still have everything that's hard work to do with Ben, but I can just have a rest and recharge my batteries. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So then I'll be a better grandparent. Now, I'd also, I enjoy listening to other people's stories because hearing them, you suddenly realise it's not you on your own. You're not isolated, even though you feel it at home. You feel it's just you and nobody else that's going through what you're going through, sleepless nights, vomiting, children who squeal, scream, bang their heads, whatever. And so it's really nice to hear other people's stories, and they say, my child did this. We were up all hours of the night. We were up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and TV was a bit boring. And it's good to hear other people's stories on video as well as in print, because in print you can sit down and read them. You can just pick it up, have a little look. But when you see it on video, you see a real person, you hear them. You can hear the sadness, you can hear the love and laughter as well. And I think that joins us, and it's really lovely to know that there is somebody else out there. No matter what the time of the day, night is, you can turn on your computer, pick a story, click through. You might think this one I can relate to, this one I can't, but I think it will give us in here that sense of not being so alone. And I would love to hear other people's stories and to know that there's other people in the same boat that I'm in. So write in.
And what would you like to learn from these stories? What kind of...
I think what I could learn from other people's stories are how they cope, how they manage, what beautiful gems they get from their children. And we do, even when you think, my life's so horrible, it's never going to get any better, you can say, my child did this today, and it's so exciting, and it gives you that bit of hope for the next thing that you can hear. You can share it, you can grow from it. It's definitely the way to go.
So how about what you told me about Ben speaking a few words.
Oh, Ben's starting to join words together, and it's so exciting because he's actually making his own requests, and I never thought he'd ever do that. I thought maybe he's 7, maybe he's 8, maybe he'll be 9, but the other day he actually is starting to put 2 and 3 words together, and he's saying, I go ask, and I go ask. It's like, wow, I never thought he'd ever say anything like that with meaning, rather than just single words that had no meaning to anything. So very, very exciting, and it gives me lots of hope. Yeah. On reflecting on how my life has totally changed since Ben came into our lives, looking back, there's no way I would change anything. The roads are hard, they really, really are, and I've lost friends because they don't want to know us anymore. My social life has changed. I pretty much don't have one. I don't have a partner anymore because it got too hard, but I wouldn't change a thing. Ben is worth it. It's so rewarding to see a child who has come from being totally vacant, just plainly not there, to a little boy who's happy. He runs, he jumps, he's interacting. The rewards, I'd do it again and again and again. And I'd take other people's children, so if it's too hard, bring them to me. But don't give up, because one day at a time. If you can't manage one day, half a day. If you can't manage half a day, do an hour. If you can't manage an hour, half an hour, make a coffee. It's going to be okay, and our children need us. So just another idea is maybe like me saying, I'm happy to have your children. If you find it hard, I would honestly knock on the door, I'd take your babies. It would be good if we could set up a group maybe where we can support each other, that if we're having a bad day, it doesn't have to be that we are sick, but if we're sick, we definitely do need a hand. Like I'm on my own, and if I'm really ill, I can't really care for Ben on my own, so it would be good to have some support there. And it could even just be a mental health day for us. It could be, I can't cope, I need a break, can you have my child? So a group like that would be amazing. It could be just 1 or 2 people, could be 3 or 4 people get together, have a coffee, say, yep, I like you, I'm comfortable with you, I know what your rules are, I know how you are around your child, I'd be happy for you to be around mine, vice versa, and it would be a great way to start to get a group together. So bring it on. We could call this We could call this idea or project Project Self-Care, for lack of any other decent ideas. And I'm sure that a lot of you have a lot more imagination than I do and would be able to come up with a perfect name for this, so that it's not intimidating, it's not a put down, it's just something that would work for us, and we could call it Project Self-Care. I recently attended a group where a group of parents got together with children with many different disabilities, and we all shared our story, and I got so much out of that group. I could hear other people's stories, and there was a huge sense of belonging. That isolation, that it's just me on my own, had gone, and I thought I actually belong somewhere, and that was very, very important for me. It was valuable.
What about the group?
The parents all told their stories, and you could hear their struggles, their hopes, their dreams, where their children were coming from, how they coped, how they managed. We got new information. I heard about individualised funding, how it changed people's lives. I'd never heard about it before. So just little tidbits that people don't think matter, that could be the most valuable piece that another person might hear, and they can take that away and go, I didn't know we could get that, I didn't know that existed. And so you suddenly have a support group. Even if you disperse afterwards, you still gained a support group. It just makes you realise you can do better, you can do more, there is help, but we've got to know where to look, and it's finding it. It's finding the right help and embracing the positive stuff. Forget the bad stuff, because there's always going to be bad stuff, that's what life's about. But the good stuff, and you can improve, and if you can improve your life and your child's life, you can't really ask for more. Yeah.